Do you ever feel like you're stuck playing whack-a-mole with your problems? You knock one down, another one pops up. Week after week, the chaos just keeps coming. That relentless cycle can be overwhelming and push you to keep grinding, trying to clear the clutter and regain control. This is a common story. So many people live in this cycle, caught between the chaos and the drive to push through. It's natural to want to fix everything at once, but that can burn you out quick. Personally, it took me a bit of considering to figure out what I could focus on that would make a worthwhile impact. What I realized was I was looking at the situation too closely and I needed to zoom out. I was getting to everything and I was doing well for being on that zoomed in level, but I felt overwhelmed and stressed dealing with situations that felt quite chaotic. When I zoomed out, I realized that I would benefit greatly by focusing on creating a manageable and sustainable rhythm. My strategy for doing this: time blocking. I've heard a lot about it and it makes sense to me that at least it's a good next step for me. Whoa, why are you taller all of a sudden? Oh yeah, I just got my cushion. A cushion? Why do you have a cushion? Where my hamstring attaches to my sit bone got a little messed up. What's a sit bone? When I learned this, it was like everybody knew it, and now I'm finding like nobody knows about it. It's like, not your tailbone. So your tailbone is here, like right here, under your butt cheeks. Bones is where your hamstrings attach. Mine's irritated. I have to do physical therapy for 3 to 6 months to heal it. The moment I can sit for about 10 to 15 minutes. I set a timer every time I sit down at my computer. That's just one thing I'm dealing with. How's your life going? Hey, I got a good attitude about it. I'm happy to be moving forward. And I'm getting stronger. Woo! First week of time blocking, I made a lot of progress. I learned a lot, but I knew it definitely wasn't over by the end of the first week. So I decided to keep going for week 2. In week 2, I was able to see more clearly what I was getting hung up on in this adjustment and work on addressing those sticking points. I got creative and came up with solutions like how to organize my buffer list, which at the moment is by like priority, immediate things, not so immediately necessary things, and then like long-term conceptual things that I want to keep on my radar, but are good to have for when there's some time off or it's the right time. I wrote that. It seems to me like one more week is going to get this to start running smoothly, and I'll likely spend a 4th week running this to work out any remaining kinks and really help it sink in. And I did make note of one of the kinks I was experiencing is that I kept having notes in my calendar for things during that time block. So my solution was to make a specific note for each of these different time blocks that are recurring and link to them from my home note. Apple Notes, there's a framework, I think it's called Forever Notes. You could look that up. I started it and I learned about linking and the concept of a home note. So you make a home note, you pin it, so it's always easy to get, and then you link to other things. That's all I've taken from the video so far. I plan to go back and watch more. It's already revolutionized how I'm using notes and giving me a lot more control. The friction required to go find the note and put things in the right place was a big part of why I kept using the calendar for notes instead of using the Notes app. So just having the links in the home note was a total game changer. Total credit to Forever Notes framework, and if you're interested in this kind of thing, I think it's worth checking out. This has been working brilliantly, and it's actually incredible for me to have all the space of a Notes app when I've been managing these notes in my calendar for years. Seriously, the calendar, it works great for like little short things, but it's annoying to have to delete things and move things if it doesn't get accomplished on one day. Plus, the text editor is a strip, and then like moving and adding things is frustrating. The Notes app is fantastic, especially if you have like a laptop, something with a bigger screen to then look at, because it can be really, it seems like a lot on a phone, but you look at it on a laptop, it's way easier to like format, reorganize. So if you're caught in this cycle or you feel it might be creeping in, here's what I want you to do. Pick one manageable thing this week to focus on. This will help you be effective and create order without overwhelming yourself. Once you pick it, own that step and don't get distracted by other things that might be calling for your attention. Work the problem, get creative with solutions. Reach out for help when it makes sense, and keep after it until you make sense of what you're working on. This way, you can break that cycle and build real momentum. You can do it. Of course, we're gonna make mistakes. We're gonna make mistakes along the way, and we're gonna make mistakes along the way. What's important is that you keep after it. Mistakes. That's how you're gonna do it. You're gonna make steaks. Unless you're vegan or vegetarian, then you're just gonna make solutions. Coming straight to every screen you own. Mondays and Thursdays.